Post-CBILS and bounce back loan borrowing, new small business complaint resolution service launched, and the VAT Deferred Payment scheme has been announced. All of this in the latest Business Finance Bulletin. With thoughts and conversations now turning to when lockdown could possibly be lifted, now is the time to start thinking about what the borrowing environment for small businesses will look like post-lockdown. Now, as we know at the moment, many businesses are borrowing via two of the government support schemes, being bounce back loans and CBILS. Now, as I record this, those two schemes will expire and close on the 31st of March. So you've only got a matter of weeks in which to get your application in. So what will the funding environment look like after those schemes finish? Well, Alaka Bank has done a survey amongst commercial finance brokers like ourselves, and the general consensus amongst finance brokers is that it is going to be extremely challenging for businesses to access finance. Now, why is this? Well, I've mentioned this in previous bulletins. If you're looking at borrowing money later in the year, the one thing the banks will do is look at your balance sheet and your current borrowing commitments, and they will see either the bounce back loan or the CBILS loans. Now, they'll know that you have a forthcoming loan repayment which will start in a matter of months. So when the banks are calculating your ability to pay a new commercial mortgage, for example, they have to factor in this forthcoming loan repayment commitment. And often that payment is going to be enough in order to throw the bank's serviceability calculations out of the window. So it's going to make it very challenging for many businesses to borrow. Also, if you had a relatively thin balance sheet before you went into COVID, then this extra debt is going to make your balance sheet even more weak. And this is going to frighten off many lenders. What's the environment going to look like for unsecured loans? Who knows? That's a very different market now going into 2021. So there are a number of challenges facing businesses like yourselves who may be looking to borrow money later in the year. And it's something you need to be aware of. What are your options? Well, this is really where, as I mentioned before, two particular loan products or finance products come into play. Asset finance, that's leasing and HP. The lender has got security against the underlying plant, equipment and machinery or vehicle. That makes them more secure. And also if you're looking for cash flow support and you sell on terms of 30, 60, 90 days, then invoice discounting or factoring will be the one to look at for you. So if you're looking to borrow later on in the year and you want some support, don't forget, just drop us a line, info@businessloanservices.co.uk, and we'll happily chat you through the options. Just one to look out for 2021 when you're planning for finance. If you have a complaint against a bank and you're a small business operating via a limited company status, then outside of the courts and the bank's internal complaint process, you have very few options in which to pursue your claim if you're unhappy with the service or the handling of the complaint. Well, over the last 2 years, 7 of the main high street banks have been talking about launching a new service, an independent and free service to review these complaints. Well, after that 2 years, the service has now been launched, and it's the Business Banking Resolution Service. So what does it involve? Well, the 7 banks, first of all, who put this together include the likes of Barclays, Danske, HSBC, NatWest, Santander and Virgin Money, which covers Clydesdale Bank and Yorkshire Bank. Now, this free service covers 2 types of complaints. One, a current complaint, and the second, an historic complaint. So the first current complaint process covers the period from the 1st of April 2019 onwards. The turnover of your business has got to be less than £10 million, and you've got to have a balance sheet value of up to £7.5 million, and you've been unable to take the complaint to the Financial Services Ombudsman. The second type of complaint is the historic one, and these cover old complaints covering the periods of the 1st of December 2001 to the 31st of March 2019. Again, a turnover now up to £6.5 million and a balance sheet worth of up to £5 million. So good to see now that businesses will have a service to turn to if they've been unable to get satisfaction under complaints that they have lodged. To learn more about this new service, just go along to the Business Banking Resolution Service website, which is thebbrs.org. When COVID first hit in March 2020, one of the first things the government did to help small businesses was to launch the VAT Deferment Scheme. It allowed those VAT registered businesses that had VAT due to the government during March 2020 and June 2020 to defer those payments. In other words, to keep hold of the cash, subject to that full amount being payable by the 31st of March 2021. Well, the government has realised that many small businesses are still struggling in terms of cash flow, and so they have now formally implemented an announcement previously made that those outstanding payments can be repaid back between 2 months and 11 months. So monthly repayments and interest-free. Now, this is not automatic. You have to apply to join the scheme, and applications to join open on the 23rd of February and close on the 21st of June. So in order to kind of benefit from the full 11 months payment period, you have to apply in March. If you delay it by a month, then it only becomes 10 months, 9 months, etc. So get the full benefit and apply in March if you would like further instalment and cash flow release to pay back the VAT. Now, the great idea by the government in order to help ease cash flow burden on behalf of small businesses. Well, that's it for another bulletin. As ever, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like, a share and subscribe to this channel. So that's it. Look forward to being with you again next time. In the meantime, have a great, successful and profitable